guys, it's Anissa. Welcome back to my channel. I'm still really not sure what I'm going to title this video because I thought this video was going to go a certain way and it didn't. It started out being a full face of using Black Radiance makeup, but then I quickly found out when I went to the drugstore that I was not going to be able to accomplish a full face. I was like, okay, well we can just do black owned, but Black Radiance isn't black owned. Everything that wasn't Black Radiance was black owned, truly. This is the look that I came up with. Before we go any further, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. I post every 4 days, and yeah, let's get into it. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and jump into this. I'm really still not sure because my intent for making this video was to do a full face of Black Radiance. Come to find out, number one, Black Radiance is not black owned, and then come to find out, number two, in the drugstore, Black Radiance's selection is very small, and I literally just bought this stuff. I bought everything that I could from Black Radiance, and then everything else is black owned. First things first, we're going to prime. I'm going to be using the Danessa Myricks Smooth Effects Refining Gel, which is actually what I used in my last full face of black owned brands, and I absolutely love this stuff. It is so good for filling in your pores. It just has that really smooth feeling, and it also mattifies slightly, so it kind of has that double whammy effect. My eyelashes are looking ratchet, but we're not gonna talk about it, okay? We're not gonna talk about it. I'm here. Next, this is probably the thing that I'm most excited to try. This is the Color Perfect Oil-Free Liquid Makeup. They don't call it foundation, it's called liquid makeup. And I got 2 different shades, Chocolate Truffle and Toffee Caramel, and they were only $5. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy both. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Beauty Blender half of the face and then a brush on the other side of the face. I wonder what type of coverage it is. It just claims to have a natural finish. It doesn't say what type of coverage it has. I guess first I'm going to actually try, oh, they're so close. I'm gonna put this one on my face first. This is the darker one. So if I need to lighten it up, oh my gosh, it comes with a spatula. Okay, that's kind of iconic though. This video just is not going as planned, and I'm really not even mad about it, just because I'm like, sometimes you have to do your own research to kind of figure out things instead of just assuming. Come to find out, Shea Moisture is also only 51% black owned, which was just sad. But you know, for me, it's kind of disappointing because it's like, why is somebody, how do I say this without being offensive? Why is somebody who is not a person of color, a brand for black people should be owned by black people? And this foundation only comes in 12 shades, which is also a completely different story because, you know, I feel like a lot of what's going on right now is, you know, we need to be inclusive. You need to include everybody in your brand. But I mean, Black Radiance, I guess that's a little different because it's Black Radiance, but still, I mean, I looked at those colors and I was like, people who are on the lighter spectrum and even on the more darker side of the spectrum really might have a hard time finding something that works for them. They had a concealer stick that only came in 3 shades. That just goes to show that all brands can grow. All right, this has a really pretty skin-like finish, and I kind of honestly like the color. I feel like I have so many different colors going on in my face right now. I have a pimple, but I feel like it matches the rest of my body. This is definitely not full coverage, but I would say it is a medium coverage. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin or anything like that. I'm gonna go ahead and do another layer, but really props to them for the spatula because that is kind of iconic. For this to be $5 and have something else besides a pump, I honestly expected it to have nothing. It's not sticking to my skin really weird. I will say my skin is very textured right now, and one thing I feel like you can't expect foundation to do is get rid of coverage. I have found though with some foundations you get more coverage, and I say this in every video and I will continue to say this in every video. I do the half and half because sometimes foundations, doesn't matter, you can use a brush or you can use a beauty blender, but some foundations just work better with one or the other. I feel like I definitely am getting more coverage with this brush, and this is the It Cosmetics brush, and I used just an e.l.f. beauty sponge. I'm surprised how matte this is drying down. I figured it would be a little bit more dewy. I don't know. It honestly probably wouldn't have hurt me to go ahead and use the lighter shade. Oh yeah, this is definitely buildable. It's so funny because not too long ago, I don't know if that video is going up before or after this, I tried to film a video probably 4 different times over the span of 2 weeks, and so my initial shade was right, but I had waited so long and I'd been out in the sun so much that it looked like I bought the wrong shade. And the thing is, I feel like a plus of having the drugstore is that if you don't know your exact shade, it won't break your pockets to buy 2 shades. Guys, I forgot to use my orange corrector. I did buy an orange corrector. Maybe I'll put a little bit underneath. I don't know, will that look weird? I know you're supposed to put it under foundation, but I mean, is there any rules? And this is like the LA Girl. That's literally all I'm gonna put. I just wanna put a little bit to see. That definitely made a difference. Next, we will just go ahead and get into the actual shade that I'm using, and this is also an HD corrector, and this is in the color light to medium. Medium to dark was not so my shade friendly. Figured it'd be easier to fix something that's lighter than something that's darker, especially underneath the eyes. I'm kind of worried because this kind of is moving like paint, if that makes sense. When you move paint, you see how it kind of is leaving the mark of where I spread it out at instead of actually spreading itself out. We'll give her her fair chance. I'm gonna use this littler beauty blender from e.l.f. I'm so scared to blend this out and I don't even know why. The consistency is very jelly-like. That's what I think I was trying to say when it was like paint. It's very jelly-like. But this does not look bad at all. It actually brightened really, really nicely. I'm gonna put a little bit on my eyelid because I do not have a black owned eye primer, so we are just going to use concealer. I will say it is kind of hanging on to the creases underneath my eyes, but I'm really not mad at this. It just looks so skin-like. It looks very, very skin-like. Well, so far so good. Everything looks decent. I'm not super in love, but everything looks decent. I'm so amazed with how matte. I'm gonna go ahead and bake this before I move around too much. This is the True Complexion Loose Setting Powder, and I got the color Honeymoon. I almost got Banana, but I was like, no, honestly, I'm just scarred. I'm scarred. And that's why I was like, if this concealer is too light, I think that this powder will be a pretty good match. And you get a lot of product. That's what it looks like. Oh yeah, this is like the perfect color. Okay, that actually looks really good. Black Radiance, where have you been, girl? And it's sad because actually, I don't know about your guys's, where your section would be, but the Black Radiance in my local drugstore is by the Beauty Tools. Like, it's excluded from everything else. You know, even when you go to Walmart, they may have changed it, but when I first started doing my hair natural, the curly hair stuff was in a completely different section. It was usually on the end of an aisle in like a little space with a couple rows, and everything else was away from it. Maybe not a big deal, but this powder, I'm actually living. It looks gorgeous on the skin. I'm just putting a little bit to catch any fallout I might have. I'm actually genuinely impressed. It looks so smooth. I'm shook. Now I'm going to go ahead and do eyeshadow. So for eyeshadow, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly put the concealer on my eyelids just to get it a little tacky because we are doing a colorful look today. I've been on a roll, y'all. I'm so proud of myself. I think I'm afraid that once I go back to neutral looks that I'm not gonna be able to go back. They had these lid glitz eye apparel. I almost bought a gold one, but I was like, no. Anissa, you need to buy a colored one. You have so many liquid glitter eyeshadows that you don't even use. This is calling my name. This is in the color It Girl. Oh, this is gonna be gorgeous. I have two different options. I'm thinking about doing an all blue look or doing a purple and blue look. I'm gonna go ahead and incorporate maybe two eyeshadow palettes that I just purchased. The Violets by Juvia's Place. So this gorgeous purple palette, the Magic Mini by Juvia's Place. This one and another one exactly like it, the same size, for $25, and they're usually $25 a piece. Actually has purple specks in it. I feel like maybe we could do both. I'm going to go ahead and take this MAC blending brush. I've been washed so many times it doesn't even have the name on it anymore. Eyef in this palette. It's a blue, but it's almost purple. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that and just put that on the outside of my crease. I think I bought 9 eyeshadow palettes from Juvia's Place, but I don't know. I kind of just, it was a leap of faith. The first eyeshadow palette I have from them, I really like. I honestly don't use it enough. Y'all, look at that. That is gorgeous. Okay, this shadow is #1 very blendable and also very buildable. I'm going to take this light purple maybe and just blend out the edge. Ooh, look at how pigmented that is on top of the, that was a good decision. Okay, I was going to try to just blend out the edges, but that's crazy. You can see how it literally changed the whole color of the eye look, and it was lighter than the color that I put underneath it. I'm just going to take a little bit of this Beauty Bakery setting spray and spray my brush, and I'm going to go ahead, and this purple right here is just calling my name. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on the outer half. Guys, I don't think I've done purple yet. I've definitely done blue, but I have not done just purple. I'm still so shocked by how good this powder is doing. I almost should have used my fingers. That way you guys can really see the glitter in this shadow. As you can see, there's little to no fallout on my eyes. Now I'm just going to take that first brush and just blend the crease and the lid shade together. And I'm actually going to take a little bit of this purple on the left and just take that up and really help get the sparkle in there. And the pan has little to no kickback. Now it's time for the star of the show. Look at that. Gorgeous. Okay, so I'm just going to put this right on kind of basically the inner half. This is kind of flopping. This just goes to show that swatches are not everything. I don't like that. It's very like jelly. If you can see, it's hanging on different spots. I don't like that. Maybe we can fix it. Hold on. Just kind of see. Okay, yeah, now. This is flopping. Look, you see it's like moving. Look, I just basically wiped away the shadow. I'm going to take that light purple shade and I'm going to use that on the inner half. Oh, that is gorgeous. That's without setting spray. See, sometimes I don't like to use setting spray because I feel like setting spray kind of takes away the glimmer that you get, the actual sparkle. I'm gonna go ahead and take in the top left and just pack that right in between them to help them blend a little bit better together. These two eyeshadow palettes, great. I actually used 4 of the 6 colors in here. Absolutely beautiful, blendable, pigmented, lovely. But we are actually not done. I'm going to go ahead and wipe my bake off and then we will finish the underneath the eyes. My under eyes look beautiful. I like this powder better than I like some of the high-end powders that I've used underneath my eyes. It just gives you that brightened but still very mattified filtered look, and that's what I love. We're going to go ahead and go back underneath the eyes to just finish this up, and I think what I'm going to do, since I did not really dip into this shade very much, what I ended up doing was actually using that darker color on the outer half of my eye and then using that lighter color on the inside. This color, Val, this silver color, this is what I needed all along. And like I said, I always drag my inner corner color up just a little bit. I drag it down a little bit. That way everything connects and it looks like you don't have 2 separate things going on. Eyeshadow turned out beautiful. Unfortunately, this just was not making the cut. I'll probably end up giving this to my mom because she really likes colorful stuff, but I wanted this to work so bad, guys. I really did. And as you can see, it's still, the swatch is really beautiful on my hand. I'm going to go ahead and powder my face, and I'm going to be using this Black Radiance pressed powder in the color Beautiful Bronze. And it comes with this little brush, but I just I don't know. This might be a little too light for me. It looked a little darker in the store. This has a lot of kickback in the pan, but I will say it looks pretty. It smells kind of weird. The finish is super nice. I will say there's a lot of fallout in the pan. I'm used to being really aggressive with my powder. So maybe I should have chilled out a little bit, but I definitely like that. So now we're going to go ahead and get into brows, and I'm just going to use that product that I show you guys. I like how it's a kind of powdery product, which I was scared because I thought it was going to be liquid. But the super pointy tip allows you to be really precise. And it usually takes me like 20 minutes to do my brows, but that made it like super fast. Brows are done. I really love the concept of this. I like the packaging, but I also like that it's super powdery, so you don't have to worry about having super harsh lines or anything like that. So I really like the way that turned out. Next is bronzer, and I'm just going to be using this Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette, and I'm going to go ahead and use this color on the end. This also has a lot of kickback. I don't know how I feel about this because it's very sheer. I can tell that I'm warmed up, but it's very sheer. This is the Black Radiance blush in the color Warm Berry. So I'm just gonna stipple this onto my cheeks. Okay, I really like the color of that. It has a little bit of a sheen in it too, so it's super pretty. I'm gonna go back in and use this highlighter shade in here, and we'll know if it works because the nose highlight says it all. Oh, look, I have a pile of powder. That was a lot, wow. Just the tiniest bit down the bridge of my nose. Oh wow, okay, well, this is doing nothing. That's great. Okay, well that's disappointing. I want the lips to be very plain Jane because of everything I have going on the eyes, so I'm just gonna use this Fenty Beauty Clear Gloss. Hi. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, and then I'm gonna set my face real fast using this Beauty Bakery setting spray. That smells very strongly of alcohol. Oh my gosh. I was really impressed with this powder and the foundation. I look super matte. It said natural, so I wasn't expecting to have a matte finish. Concealer, I'm still on the rocks about. It looks really pretty, but I was just worried because of the initial application of what it was gonna do. I definitely like the powder. It has coverage. I would say that this is probably my winter shade. Stuff looks a lot different under studio lights than it does in a store. Blush, really pretty. I would say the only really two flops that we had in this video were the mascara and the eyeshadow, which is so funny because they're both blue, and I literally said I'm gonna do a blue look, and look at me now. That is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you guys have any brands that you want to see, any video ideas, please let me know down in the comments. I'm very open to suggestions and comments. Don't forget, I do have a beauty Instagram, so if you want to go check it out, I will leave the link in the description box, and all the products that were mentioned and used will be put in the description box as well. Just go ahead and look for them, and I will give you a link to go purchase them so you don't have to go look for it yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.